Exciting episode of Stacker News Live. I'm here with my best friend for FF during the bear market.
A friend
Keyan?
of F's, yeah. We're bear friends. We're hibernating together.
Dude, how's this bear market treating you?
Pretty good. I feel pretty good. I actually like it when things are bad. It's kind of a weird.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what it is about me, but I just like it when things are bad. I feel like alive when things are bad. Like actually kind of it might just be like my autism or whatever, but I liked it when I like the COVID lockdowns a little bit. It like made me feel, I mean, I don't like that they locked us down, but I liked that,
you like the COVID lockdowns?
I like that things are changing.
This is mine, right?
Like I like that the world is like a little bit changing and there's like something to, I don't know, like live for or fight or whatever. Like it's.
Oh, you like the revolution.
I like it when things, when I feel like I have a place that I can like grow from. We were just talking before we turn on the mics that like don't get rich because like incentives work. Like because if you get rich, like you have no incentive to get anything else in the world. Like you kind of have a lot of it.
That makes sense.
Anyway, it's maybe a little philosophical, but
yeah, I think that's a good point, especially during a bear market. Like try not to get too rich. I guess.
The protocol hasn't changed. The protocol hasn't broken. There's no bear market in the protocol. The protocol isn't concerned. It's just people who are silly with their money have done silly things and the price is affected by it. That's pretty much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's pretty much it.
With all that, we're going to dive into the top 5 stories of the week on Stacker News. Keyan, take it away.
All right. Cool. So we had 2 AMAs this week. That'll be 2 of the top 5. And then Car, you sent me two topics.
Yeah, I had 2 stories I want to bring up.
Yeah, they're both good stories. But we'll be going over those too. But we'll start off with Oscar Mary's AMA. Excuse me for all the scrolling, but I was making sure I read everything in it before this. Yeah, really popular AMA. A lot of people are really excited about Fountain, especially now that you can listen to a podcast and make money listening to a podcast. But pretty cool. Your question was actually the top, Car.
Was it the top one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can rank them by top.
Yeah, so I asked him, like, thanks for doing the AMA, and I said, do you think Fountain would ever consider adding a music catalog? Like, remember we had talked about that a week prior, and he said, yes, potentially one day, but we have so much to improve on, obviously. He said audiobooks is another thing that might come sooner. So I don't know if you know this, there's a website that you can access all these audiobooks. Super is the one that turned me on to it. So they literally could catalog all those in there, those free audiobooks. They're like public domain audiobooks. Okay. And that's something that they could probably do if they don't already have something.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good starting point.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't actually. I mean, you brought up the music catalog thing. I thought it was like a little bit left field, but I guess it is super. I mean, if you have an app where you can listen to audio already,
it's so untapped though. Like this is the thing that I think most people don't realize is like music is culture in a grander sense. Like Apple did this really well. Like Steve Jobs understood this like early on.
Yeah, they pay like $3 billion for beats.
It's not even about that, but it starts even in the earlier days. It's like people don't understand, but music is it just as important as a technology because it's culture. It creates culture. So when you have a platform that's music related or music focused, that creates the culture. I don't think people realize how culture and music are very much hand in hand with society.
I certainly did. I mean, I'm not a music person, but it makes sense to me that they might.
That's why Apple went after it. That's why Apple went after Beats, is because they were losing that culture on iTunes.
Yeah, I saw that. I understood that. That was clearly like a grab for culture. But yeah, I don't really think about that like outside of Apple. I just saw them like a little bit desperate to regain like style and significance culturally. But that's an interesting point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool if Fountain adds music to their.
What did you think about it? Did you ask him any questions?
I did, but none of them were the top ones. I'm not as cool as some of these kids. The CTO of Zebedee, Andre Neves asked him, how do you see scaling of podcasting 2.0 as it relates to key send? Will podcasters need to run their own node? Do you think it's scalable? Oscar says, I think the most important thing for podcasters is choice, and they need both custodial and non-custodial. I think he has the right point of view here, but basically, Andre's point is that a lot of podcasters aren't going to want to run nodes. They're not going to be they're not going to be savvy enough to run them. But today, I believe Fountain gives you a custodial option. So I believe even our node, right, is custodial that we use for Stacker News Live, and it's run by Fountain. So anyway, not necessarily like all podcasters won't be forced into a situation where they're running their own node. The ones who are cleverer than others will probably run their own. He also, Andre Neves also asked, do you think of any case for Lightning addresses? Andre Neves, one of the inventor, if not co-inventor of Lightning addresses, which is pretty cool.
Look at that. So the live item support, listen and boost live streams of podcasts as they're, I think it says recorded.
Oh, yeah.
See that? That's big.
Listen and boost. Oh, they're going to do live.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Live item. I missed that part entirely.
Full web player. Oh, it's perfect.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so we'll be able to do this
gosh, man. Yep.
Yeah.
Way to go, Oscar and team.
Oh,
what was his co-founder's name again?
Nic.
Nic. Way to go, Nic, too. And the rest of the team. They're doing a great job, man. They get it. And I think they've always walked that line between like creating a great user experience and then also still, quote unquote, pleasing the Bitcoiners for the most part. It's a hard line to walk, but it can be done. And they're showing you that it can be done. I think Stacker News does that really well too as well. So good times, man. Good times. Good times to be a Bitcoiner right now.
Okay. Yeah, totally. There's lots of cool stuff. My tweet, or my main question was about this tweet. And it's a tweet from, I don't know, someone commenting on Web3 and how, Web3 economics are kind of maybe like tumorous or cancerous, I guess. And they're like helping these companies, these early companies solve, the problem of trying to get an early user base. And maybe that's good to get an early user base, but like it doesn't suggest like long-term viability for the product. And I asked Oster about like whether him and Stacker News are guilty of this. And we had like a bit of a back and forth on that. It's interesting.
So you're saying that just because you're incentivizing people with sats, that it doesn't mean it's a product market fit.
Yeah.
But that would have to make you think that long term, I think it is a product market fit if we skate to where we think we're going long term, right? With Lightning being the payments option on the internet.
This isn't saying anything about Bitcoin. This is saying something about like our products. So our products are both Stacker News and Fountain right now. We have this earning feature where just by being the normal activity you do in an app like Stacker News or like Fountain that you don't get paid for, we pay you for it. So even if our user experience is worse than those apps, or not significantly different or not significantly better, you have financial incentive to use our applications. So we might not actually have like a superior product, but people are using us instead. It's just like I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate.
Yeah, I know that. I get that.
This is how I think about things. I'd like to think adversarially against myself. And so I when I think about my earning feature, it's like, yeah, that might be goosing usage. That might be getting more users onto the platform. But I don't know, like that at the same time is clouding my judgment as to thinking, do I think I'm more successful than I am at building this because I'm incentivizing users to be here? So this is what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with Bitcoin. That's, it's just like our product's not as good as we think, and we think they're better because we're because we're like almost paying users to tell us they're better.
But there's incentivations in every type of app or every type of thing from the beginning of the internet. Like that's besides the point, I think, because like you look at something, we were just talking about Apple in the early days, right? Like they had the Apple II, and it could do certain things. I'm sure. I don't remember that far long ago because I wasn't around then, but there was some type of open thing that you could do, and there was incentives to getting an Apple II, just like there's incentives to getting a Mac, getting an iPod back then. Like those are incentives. Maybe it's not helping you per se with monetarily, but it's still incentives built into that product.
Exactly. But that's these incentives exist outside of the product.
But incentives change though over time.
Yeah, no. So this isn't necessarily bad, but if you begin to believe that you've reached product market fit as a result of these earning features, when you don't, you might get complacent and you might not make your product better. This
is why you don't get complacent. Like
exactly.
So you look at like Amazon, right? Like Amazon, the incentive was back then, oh, you can get it shipped in 2 days, big incentive, right? But they had to add more incentives for that to keep scaling. Now they add like videos, audiobook, and all that crap. Like it kept building these incentives. So over time, you're going to have to build more incentives along the way. Hopefully not too soon, but to keep that network growth that you see, I would think I think that's what Fountain's doing.
Yeah. Hopefully there'll be just continue to accrue more and more value. But I think it's really interesting to think about if you're either Stacker News or Fountain, or actually any app that rewards the user financially. Yeah. But I don't know. It's something I think about a lot. Do I have product market fit? Is it obvious to me I'm going to succeed? It isn't. Perhaps it's never obvious to a company when they're going to succeed, but it's something that I think about a lot.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think anybody really knows if they're in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think even probably Jeff Bezos woke up in the morning, could we fail if we don't do this thing?
Yeah,
I'm
sure he did.
Yeah,
he probably still thinks like that. I think that's a good way to think.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of have to. You have to constantly be afraid you're gonna die as a company, not as a person.
Wow.
Anyway, by the way, I've had a large glass of beer.
He's been drinking all day.
Yeah,
he's been drinking all day. I don't know what's going on.
I'm celebrating the Independence Day.
Oh, boss.
Not really. All
right,
just drinking. But I haven't been drinking all day. If that isn't clear. So the next top story is from Seth for Privacy. Amazing scripted offers from Bisq, HODL, RoboSats, all via Tor. It's a cool little command line utility. Like overwhelmingly, though, users ask for a GUI for it. I'm playing a little video of it now, the command line app. It's very tiny. But basically, it lists all the offers that are available on these peer-to-peer marketplaces where you might be able to acquire Bitcoin. But a lot of people, what they want is a GUI for it. And
obviously, yeah.
So if someone is looking for a project to build, that'd be a kind of an interesting project to build because we have proof that users want it. And then
they said even put it on Umbrel would be great.
Yep, you put it on Umbrel. And there are like clear monetization, or there might be clear monetization strategies. I don't know if Bisq or HODL or RoboSats have any kind of like referral links or anything like that, but you might be able to like monetize an application like this. And we only expect like DEXs to grow, especially as we see more and more regulation, like strange regulation from places like Europe.
Yeah, regulation's never coming.
It's come to Europe.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, they have a weird, they have like what is it? It's like over 1,000 euros or something. You have to KYC.
But I feel like America's just taking their sweet time with it, right?
Or no, you have to like tell them the address of the person you're going to send it. Is that like the regulation? I don't know. I believe that's the regulation in Europe that just got, I was in a back and forth about this, but for some reason I'm forgetting it. It was like 2 days ago. Anyway, cool, like really cool little utility. No GUI, but hopefully we'll get one in the future. The third top story is this 9 to 5 Mac article on Podcasting 2.0, which you brought up to me.
I was shocked that actually showed up.
Yeah, when I saw that URL appear, I was like, how on earth did 9 to 5 Mac get a hold of anything related to Bitcoin? Dude. Yeah, I used to be like subscribed to them. Like when I was really into Mac rumors.
Did you listen to Gruber?
Yeah,
John,
Groover. I would do Groover.
Did I tell you that I sent him? Well, this might be out top. I sent him an intro for his podcast. I used to be a big fan of his podcast, Daring Fireball. And I sent him an intro, like a music intro. I thought it came out great. And then he was like, "Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm not going to use it, but thank you." I was like, "Oh, wow, that's so nice of him."
Yeah, it was nice for him
I'm a big Gruber fan. I don't listen to him much anymore, but
yeah, I haven't really kept up with the whole space in general. But I
like Six Colors. That's my favorite.
Okay,
Mac blog.
That's right. You shared that with me, but I never got into that one.
I love Jason Snow.
Yeah, but anyway, pretty cool. It's a decent article on podcasting 2.0. They get some things right.
Look at the comments.
But the comments are the most interesting part, obviously, because there's a lot of people who don't like this article appearing on
Stackers. Go on there, man. Flood it.
Yeah,
flood it, Stackers.
Get it in there. We actually see a stacker on here later.
Who?
Now it appears.
There you go. Now there you go. I love it. Another app that provides value for value podcasts is Breeze, but you don't get paid for listening like Fountain. It actually works smoothly. Everyone kept telling Apple to keep a hands-off approach. That being open was critical to podcasts. What ended up happening was that other players, primarily Spotify, yeah, they gave it away, man. Rest in peace, Steve Jobs. You're missed.
Rest in peace. There's another this last comment is also not too bad. But most of the other ones are pretty awful.
Oh yeah, so they even call out like, in my opinion, Curry is a bad. I'm like, what? Why are they going after Adam Curry? That's so messed up, dude.
Yeah, I don't know why they think he's a bad actor. But I guess
because probably he was like on MTV or something and shatted on them at some point.
I think it's just any association with Bitcoin in some people's minds is
they lump us with crypto, and that's the problem.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I wonder though, like, what if crypto didn't exist and it was still just Bitcoin?
They would still shit on us.
Yeah, they probably still would.
Like, oh, look at those crazy Bitcoiners and their revolution.
They still wouldn't get it. I mean, I would love to go and see. I mean, unfortunately, there weren't internet forums before the internet, but I'd love to like see what people were saying about internet people before.
This is the cool thing about like what we've been creating in the Bitcoin space. It's all going to be documented. So like Stacker News, Twitter, like the boost that we're doing, like it's all documented. So they're going to say like, oh no, they actually weren't crazy and they weren't like. History books are going to be kind to Bitcoiners.
You already see this on Twitter. Like if you like Loff will share like tweets from like years ago. He has like a calendar where he like timestamps all, or he like saves links to all of these tweets and he like revisits them as the days pass in the calendar. And he'll share like really bad takes people have had on Bitcoin in the past.
Oh, I have some really bad takes.
Yeah.
I still have bad takes.
Yeah.
I probably just had one right now.
We all do. So we had another AMA, Bernard Para from BitNob. BitNob is like a Bitcoin bank. They also have stables in it, but it's focused on Africa and African businesses. They have a really cool website. I should maybe pull it up, but
what is it using on the? You said it's using a bank, but it's like a.
It's like a bank. It's like a place where you can acquire Bitcoin. You can
like an actual bank, like infrastructured bank, like.
No, not like a physical bank, but like an app, like a. Okay, so it's kind of view it like a Swan.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, now it makes more
kind
sense.
of like a Swan. It's, I guess we'd more so call it an exchange.
Okay.
But it also has they'll also lend you money based on I assume collateral that you store with them. I actually haven't used the app, but really cool AMA. It's a lot of users ask a lot of interesting questions about Africa. Yeah, specifically what's going on with Bitcoin in Africa, because most of us don't know. We have no idea at all. And pretty cool. Top comment asks about like bad internet infrastructure, and Bernard has some good back and forth on that. They talk about something called USSD, which is
what's that?
It's unstructured supplementary service data, which is kind of like SMS, although it's like session based. So if anyone is familiar with networks, like SMS is the analogy here would be SMS is like UDP, and then USSD is more like TCP. But you kind of have a session of a certain duration, and you can communicate back and forth between an entity. I looked it up a little bit after this because I was kind of curious, but Bernard was saying that we would like, ideally, to get Lightning more widely adopted in Africa, we would need some kind of USSD integration. Anyway, really cool AMA. I learned that Bernard used to farm poultry before he, I believe, got a computer science degree in Ghana. Overall, really cool. I feel so disconnected from Africa in general and just like the rest of the world, period. And it's like really nice to...
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like I've been working on the Pleb Lab website with Millie, and it's like that's what I've been keeping in my frame of mind is like global, and like how to extract the right images in my head and then turn it to words for like what I want it to do. But it's really hard, dude. It's really hard to think like that. So I'm definitely kind of talking shop on air, but I'm gonna have to show you all that stuff at some point because I'm gonna need everybody's feedback. Yeah.
Well, you could ask Stacker News for feedback.
For sure, we'll definitely ask Stacker News for feedback.
They'd give you some. Might not like it, but they might also give you sats. Anyway, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool AMA overall. Kenya Coin here asks about the prognosis for Naira, which is the central bank digital currency. They say Bernard responds that it's been pretty bad. Anyway, cool mix of Bitcoin and Africa in here, and like where I think really where Bitcoin meets the road, as far as like adoption among, I don't know, people that aren't in like a super privileged country like the United States. So
yeah,
awesome. Pretty cool. I really like that AMA.
Not bad for 43,000 sats.
Here's a pretty good article on USSD that I was reading up on. I was trying to figure out what the heck it is, but it's basically SMS that's like session based. But apparently, like African governments, they provision it and control it. So if you would need to get the permission to use Bitcoin over it. Probably.
So it's basically like phones in the 2000s. Looks like it has like WAP browsing and stuff. Do you remember WAP browsing? I used to have one of those Nokia 3650s, and you could do like a WAP browser and stuff like that and download like games.
No, I have no idea what that is.
Oh, okay. This was like Text America days. Like before Instagram, there was something called Text America. And it used to be like an Instagram.
Yeah. I need to read more up on these older protocols because I think they're kind of relevant. Because it's almost like we're returning to a protocol era of internet.
100%.
Yeah. Top 5 story is this kind of story on shitcoining. But Voyager, which I believe which is kind of like a Coinbase-y thing, I guess. You can like buy stuff on it. You can buy cryptos, and you could sell cryptos and do other stuff with cryptos on it. They issued a notice of default to 3AC, which is like a cryptos hedge fund, where they invest in cryptos and crypto companies and apparently give loans to crypto companies. So they gave Voyager a loan of 15,000 Bitcoin and $350 million in USDC, and Voyager defaulted on it. It's
crazy too, because I remember when I was in the crypto space, like Voyager came out and it was like touted as like another like Coinbase or something. Okay. But they were incentivizing people to like, you sign up with them and you get like $25 worth of Bitcoin or whatever.
I think Coinbase does that too, though. But what's really interesting, you still don't. But I want to hear more about your first encounter with them. But
yeah, that was my first encounter. Like, like it's one of those things. Like at the time, I didn't know anything. I was in crypto. I didn't know shit. Obviously, I know now. But like, it's weird how when you're like still learning all this stuff, like something as simple as $25 Bitcoin incentives, and then sign it. Yeah, it like gets you to sign up, and so you live and learn. They're even still on their website, even though they just defaulted on this massive loan, touting that you'll earn 12% annual rewards on what you store with them. So I think just like I think from like working inside of like a previous company that like did like a lot of like systems and like website stuff, that usually happens because like those guys left.
Yeah, right.
And so they're like, who can do this? Like, who can pull it down? And like, literally no one can, Bob.
You laid them off already.
No, they literally walked out. They're on vacation. They're going to spend their days on their vacation. But yeah, it's usually that. So, man.
I mean, but what are they going to put here? They're not going to put like, sorry, we're going out of business.
No, you just take it down. You just take down the site.
You would take it down?
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. All right. Those are the top 5 stories.
Great 5 stories, man.
They're pretty good. Yeah. And now we'll go into your top 2. So
Oh, cool.
So one of the ones you sent me was this post by Felix, I believe.
Yeah. So he was literally talking about the Bitcoin ecosystem and the moment. He's going to do another part 2 to this. But I thought it was really interesting. He kind of gave us his bullish case for why. Like right now, there's a lot of people shitting on Lightning. There's a lot of people shitting on Bitcoin right now, and like the lack of developers, the lack of like great projects. Like everybody's super bearish in the project space. This is what I'm feeling from Bitcoin Twitter, right?
Really?
This is what I'm feeling.
You're too in it.
I'm probably too in it.
Yeah.
But in reality, like we know here in Austin, everybody's working on things. Everybody's massively have their head down and working. But it was cool to see. Is this Felix?
Felix, yeah.
Yeah, working on this, and he kind of gave a complete rundown of everything. And I thought it was a great post because it really lets people know, like, no, there's a lot of reasons to still be bullish on this. Like, don't give up. Like, I think when there's this bearish sentiment in Bitcoin, this is how we lose developers, right? Like, this is why developers go to Ethereum or go to these other chains. I don't think that's going to happen. But if we don't show us having these moments of like reflection of what we've done, then how are we supposed to bring them over to want to come work on this thing? So and that's just how I see it. And I left a comment there at the bottom. I added 2 more things. I'm not sure if you responded to it or not, but definitely check it out, Stackers. It's a great post. And then put your comments. Let us know what you're bullish about. He talks about synonyms, TBD. Like he talks about all those things that are like great things to look at. That
are kind of like Bitcoin adjacent protocol proposals. Yeah, it's a good post. It does make a bullish case. These are kind of things that I feel, but I didn't really get the sense on Bitcoin Twitter that it was bad, but I also don't pay a bunch of attention on Bitcoin Twitter. So it's good. So it's good that you said that, because I might be too in it in terms of Austin, but I actually see what this article is saying. I've been seeing it for like the last year, is an increased interest from developers, an increased interest in investors. I don't know how many investors I talked to over this last fundraise for Stacker News, but it's like a lot of them, and a lot of them are Bitcoin only funds. So I don't think that was true even 6 months ago. I think there were a few that were just starting to crop up. Like 6 months ago.
Last year, remember? Like there was literally, like last year around this time, there was literally like what, 2? Yeah. Not even 1.
Yeah.
And on Thriller Bitcoin, I wrote a post about how money's coming to Lightning. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So like,
here come the VCs or something.
Yeah, like I had wrote in a post about that last year, and like you see it how it played out, and this is a great post, man.
Yeah, no, it's a very good post. The formatting's a bit weird, and I'm trying to get feedback from Felix on what he wants for the formatting of it.
Okay.
To make it look a little nicer for him.
Add your 2 cents in there, Stackers. Like, let us know what you think, or tell us the opposite. Maybe it's not. Maybe we're just really crazy here in Austin.
No, I mean, there's he steps over the line a little bit in certain places, like saying Taro is nearly ready. Lightning Labs is working really hard on Taro, but I don't think it's like anywhere near being ready. But
to Taro, go to the next post. So the next post is
Taproot, designing for Taproot.
Yeah. So this post, I don't know if you can click on the link. It's from our friend. Is it Stefan? Stefan. That's right. I'm sorry.
It might be Steven, actually. I always get this wrong.
I always call him Stefan.
Do you?
I feel like
Does he correct you?
I don't know. He's so kind. It's like one of those things.
I know. He might not.
Let me know.
I love everything he posts. I always tell him to post more.
Brilliant. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So he goes into a whole like full-on article about Taproot, and he really explains it to somebody who's dumb like me, right? And he really goes down to like if you keep scrolling down, he goes into like why it should be the default, and maybe I'm wording this wrong, so
no, that's good. I read it.
Like why it should be the default for wallets, how you could turn it off and on, don't let the user think about it, and I think he shouts out, I forget, he shouts out somebody for the idea. But it's a great article on why Taproot is like an option for wallets going forward, and it's something that we should consider as being a default. And like he goes into even more depth that's beyond my scope, but
yeah, no,
I think it's really cool, like how he has the options right there. Taproot, like it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, they're doing a lot of great work. I mean, so Stephen does a lot of great work with, it might be Stefan, but Stephen does a lot of great work with Bitcoin design, the Bitcoin design group. And they go through and they kind of describe, like if you're designing a wallet and you wanted to support Taproot, what are some of the things you should do? And why might you want to support Taproot in your wallet? Like what benefits does it have for your user? Because you can imagine if someone's building a wallet, they might have a designer who doesn't understand Taproot so well. And so this is a great article for them because engineers are probably not going to communicate Taproot terribly well with a designer, and that a designer is going to be forced to like make assumptions that might be wrong. But this is like perfect. This kind of bridges the gap. And
yeah, it's something that like somebody like me can just like look at it and understand it and then reference it while you're working on something. Yeah. And that's the cool thing, dude. Like, what do you call that? What do you call that when you have, like, it's just a reference? Is it just called reference material?
It's a good reference. It's great information.
It's great, dude. I think more of this stuff.
Yeah. More design stuff. Yeah. No, I mean, they do a lot of stuff like this, but, yeah,
I've been lurking on the Bitcoin.design Slack.
Stefan really has a lot of good.
I hope he talks about this stuff in TabConf.
He does. Yeah, I think he does. I think he presented last year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that this year.
Anyway, really cool post, especially if you're into Taproot or design,
or if you don't even know anything about Taproot.
Yeah, if you don't know anything about Taproot,
I knew very little other than what Ben Carmen and Buck say or BitDevs.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound interesting at all. This is the first time where I'm like, oh, wow, this is really fascinating.
Yeah.
He even throws out a music reference. This is where like Stefan like understands music really well. He's like, you might know Taproot from like the late 90s band. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that band. So it's kind of cool.
Was Taproot a band?
Yeah, it was a band in the 90s.
Oh.
Not good. They were kind of like a Tool wannabe, I think.
Oh.
It was like a new metal thing.
Oh.
Or at least that's what I remember.
Yeah. So my top story is a bit of a troll.
What?
It's a bit of a troll. It's Nic Carter's post.
Really? This is where you stoop down in this bear market.
I just thought it'd be fun.
Are you throwing tomatoes at Nic Carter now?
I just thought it'd be fun to talk about. I actually really like Nic Carter's writing in general. Like he writes so well. I really enjoy his writing, and I think he's very smart. I actually like most podcasts he's on. I like listening to them. He's been on Marty's podcast, obviously.
Not when I've been there.
Okay. But I like listening to him and anything, and I think the drama is a little bit fascinating.
Tell me about the drama. I have no idea what's going on.
That's a total lie. we were talking a little bit about this off camera.
Well, tell me about it. Well, tell the stackers about it because they're probably busy like us.
Oh yeah, they might be busy. Anyway, Nic Carter, I saw it and I was like, oh my God, he actually tweeted this. But he retweeted a fundraise announcement for a crypto wallet called Dynamic or something. And people got kind of, upset at him in the comments, like, oh, you're shitcoining now. And this is kind of where this is like kind of a climactic moment in the saga where Nick writes this post where he's like, I'm not a maximalist, you idiots. I've never been a maximalist. You're an idiot if you think I'm a maximalist. Maximalists are idiots. And just kind of...
Is he saying like Bitcoin maximalist? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hate that term, man.
Yeah, I mean, he says he doesn't like the term either. But anyway.
Can't we just be Bitcoiners?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's like a really interesting post. It's fairly nuanced and kind of goes into the detail. He says he's still, as far as like layer one chains, if you kind of read between the lines here, he literally explicitly says, as far as like layer one chains, I still only believe in Bitcoin. But he says he makes investments outside of it, and he thinks really interesting things are going on in surrounding ecosystems that he thinks could potentially be valuable. He says things like NFTs are valuable, that kind of stuff, where a lot of people might disagree with him. But overall, it's kind of a nice, he's like sympathetic both to us and the other community. So it's an interesting point of view to like, if you want to travel to shitcoin land, this is a great blog post to like take a little vacation to shitcoin land. You should come right back. You don't want to stay in Miami, Florida forever, but like go to shitcoin land and come right back, or just go across. This is like going across the Golden Gate Bridge, not really entering San Francisco, but coming right back. Like, it's an interesting journey. That's all I'm saying.
I never met the guy. I've never talked to him. I don't know anything about him other than what I see on Twitter. So I don't really have anything to say. I will say this though. The one thing I can say is that he came to Pleb Lab one time. And I wasn't there.
I didn't see him.
Had I been there, I would have talked to him. But he came to Pleb Lab. And from what I heard, he wasn't impressed. So I think that's pretty cool that he came to Pleb Lab and was disappointed.
Cool. We pulled in Nic Carter, and he got disappointed and left. Because we have a friend who took investment from them.
Are you calling him out?
No, I'm not calling him out. But I'm wondering why Nick was here. I have
no idea why he was here. I just remember like somebody said, and I was like, "Did you guys talk to him?" And then they told me, and I was just like, "Oh, cool." But
I would have wanted to meet him again. And I think I mean, like I can disagree with people philosophically and not hate them as a person.
There's people that come in here all the time, and sometimes we don't say who they are, and they just go on their way, and sometimes we do. But that one I do remember, so that's the only thing I can say, and that's the only thing I know. But I don't know, man. Everybody has their journey as a Bitcoiner, and then at some point, you might stumble. But I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer that when somebody stumbles, you pull out your hand, you help them back up. That's what I believe, but not everybody believes that.
Yeah, as far as the saga, it's gotten kind of nasty. Apparently, a lot of Bitcoiners are like threatening his father.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he says in this post for being associated, because apparently his dad is like works for the World Bank or something.
Wow.
And then he's like lashing back out to the community. Like he kind of lashed out to Samson Mao, and that's some of the stuff I've seen on Twitter.
There's probably even more that's going on behind the scenes that we're not even seeing. So I think when stuff like this happens,
it's bear market behavior.
Yeah, that's what everybody keeps saying, right? But I don't know, man. I think I'm such a wuss. I'd give everybody a pass.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too. But it's an interesting insight.
I think the only thing that really upset me about this whole saga, because it's an ongoing saga right now, it seems, is like him saying what he said to Ben. Like, I think that was kind of not cool.
What did he say to Ben?
He had said something. I forget what it was, and then Ben was like, literally just like, Ben's Ben. Like, he's not trying to make a joke. He's just literally trying to help him, like Carmen. And then like he like says something, and it's kind of very much dismissive. And I'm just like, really? Like, that's not cool.
Ben,
and I don't know if Carmen knows him. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, for me in the outside perspective, like seeing it as one of my friends, like trying to.
No, I've seen Ben and Nick. They're friendly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was just kind of like, really? That's kind of rude. But everybody has a bad night.
Yeah. It's a kind of, I don't know, but it's an interesting bridge to like the outside of Bitcoin community, and I think it's worth a read.
Yeah, I'm definitely. We'll probably not read it. Just my mind space is too.
Yeah, you're a busy man.
I don't need that in my head.
Got too many jobs, too many plates spinning. All right, so this is our weekly dashboard. We have. Just want to show. We had 263 people spending, 843 people stacking, 230.
Has it gone down since the bear market started, or what do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely gone down. We actually got our stats as of today, which I wasn't really planning on looking at, but some of the stats are down.
Ooh.
Stacking users are pretty good.
The spends.
The amount of money going through the site has dropped quite a bit.
Wow.
So yeah, so
I've been actually using Stacker News more this week.
I don't know. What's weird is we've actually some of these metrics are up and some of them are down. So like the number of people visiting the site, that's breaking all-time highs. So we're getting like above 1,500 people on the site a day, which is like 50% more than we were getting previously. But the stacking is down, the spending is down. Also, the item creation is down, not a lot, but like a little bit. So we're getting fewer items, fewer comments. Registrations dipped a lot. I think this is mostly due.
When did you peak? After Miami?
No. So my theory on what's going on with registrations is that we had a lot of sock puppets redeeming invites. So currently you can send a user who isn't on Stacker News an invite with sats attached to it. And people were sharing these on Twitter when I told them not to. And I think what happened was, quote unquote, bad actors were redeeming these with fake email addresses over and over and over again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you look at, so that's why I charted here invited users.
Oh, interesting.
And so if you notice this past month, there's like nearly no invited users, but organic is still, it's like slightly down over last month, but
yeah, it's higher than the invite. Yeah.
Higher than it would
makes sense.
Indicate.
Yeah, man, it's a bear market, bro.
No, I don't think, I think most of the spending is related to me not really getting on the job board. And similarly, that's very closely correlated to stacking. The items activity might also be related to like fewer people earning.
I've definitely used it more this week I've been using it more as we kind of come down in price. And I'm not tipping as high as I once was, but I am.
Wow, you got that bear market, the bear market fingers.
Like sats are before I was like YOLOing into like make it thunder, baby, thunder, 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 thunder. It's like thunder shocking all day long on Stacker News. Now it's like. It's a light cloudy day on Stacker News where it's like a little bit of thunder, not all the time.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's for me personally. That's how I'm using it.
My behavior hasn't changed much.
Of course not. You're YOLOing into the.
I'll YOLO into it forever. The whole way down. But Bernard stacked the most. Oscar stacked the next most. AMAs are big. So if you want to make big money on Stacker News, what you got to do is become a popular figure in the Bitcoin community. And come on, get Nic Carter on here. Oh, he would never do it, and people would just attack the crap out of him. It feels so bad. I don't want that to happen.
He gets attacked on Twitter. He could be making sats here getting attacked. Like, why would you not?
Maybe once it all blows over and he's back to just talking about stables on CNBC.
Nic Carter,
with his
if you listen to this, do an AMA on Stacker News. That way you earn sats. Shoot or shoot.
There you go. Car took a shot. Cancer Boyafa, 10,000 sats. Felix with that recent post. Crypto Coin usually up there. KR, etc., etc.
Is that Moon? Justin Moon? Which Moon is that?
I wonder. Do you think it's Justin Moon?
That's a cool.
I don't know.
What, is he posting amphetamine stuff?
No, I don't think that's him.
That's not Justin.
He's a little too in it. But
cool.
It'd be probably more technical. Top spenders, me. I spent a lot.
Wow.
Sharon's. They have this is Bit Refill. They have a bunch of jobs up. Sam's from Stackwork, Asteria. Most of these are from jobs. So most of the stats.
There's me down there.
Oh, you're still. Yeah, this is your cloudy day right here. Just a little sprinkling of sats.
Just dropping out some lightning.
That's right.
So I haven't changed the briefcase.
Nope. Oh, we have a new design on this that I'm probably going to do sometime soon. So
wait, what?
It'll be good.
Finally, you're getting to the important things.
I'm gonna get rid. Yeah, exactly. The features that matter to our users the most.
The features that matter, like getting rid of that fish box or whatever, the fish toolbox.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
The leprechaun belt.
It makes no sense why it's there. It doesn't even fit with the whole thing.
I know. I get you. Anyway, I think what we're going to do is like a company logo will go there.
Oh.
Yeah. So each company will have a logo that'll probably go there. Right?
Rook came up with that, huh?
He might have. Anyway, we have.
Thank God Kevin Rook has good taste.
I know we have a bunch of new jobs. Plebeian Technology is hiring a software engineer.
Oh, cool.
Bitrefill has a bunch of jobs on there. If you're interested in working for them, they're like one of the most popular companies in the space. Stackwork still has their jobs up and still looking for people.
I love Bitrefill, by the way, personally.
Yeah, I've never used them.
I used to always use them.
I've never used
I use
them.
Bitcoin Company app these days, but I could be swayed back if at the
for the right price.
No, if the sats back were a little bit higher.
Oh, I see.
I think I get sats. I think I get higher sats on Bitcoin Company app right now.
Cool. That's cool. Good reason to use Bitcoin Company app. We're still doing user interviews for Stacker News. Valera Labs is hiring native mobile developers, and infrastructure engineer and UI UX. Yeah, we're getting more jobs. It's getting worked on.
Pomp is still pumping the sats through there.
Yeah, they're still giving sats to stackers.
Make it rain, Pomp.
I think they had 2 sats.
Make it rain, Pomp.
Yeah, he's making it rain. Bang bang, guys.
Is that what he says?
That's what Pomp says. Don't pretend like
in his like lunchbox show.
No, he says bang bang all the time, like at the end of his podcast.
Does he?
Yeah, he goes bang bang.
I haven't listened to his pod in like 30 years.
Yeah, he says bang bang.
Or 30. Yeah, it's been a while.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Unless
That's pretty much
anything
it.
Else.
I think
Boosts?
we got boosts. No boosts. It's a bear market. Keyan. No. It blockchain boog. He just didn't comment anything. This was a small dose of shrooms. This is from last week's episode.
Oh, cool. He boosted. Yeah, they actually had coins on BlockFi before all of this went on, and we talked about this before, but they put a bounty on Stacker News for quite a few sats for someone to educate them on how to get their sats off of BlockFi.
Oh, wow.
And they got their sats off of BlockFi before all this happened. I checked with them today that they actually got them off because BlockFi is like getting like liquidated or whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Crazy times in the Bitcoin space. What are you gonna do for the 4th, Keyan?
I'm gonna party. I'm gonna get out on a paddleboard naked on Ladybird Lake.
Well, why don't you just rent out
paint myself orange?
I got an idea. Rent out the Airbnb next to you.
Yeah.
And then party in that house, and that way you can annoy yourself back and forth.
Yeah.
Or throw a party in the house. Invite everybody.
And then I won't go to it. I'll try to go to sleep at home.
You try to go to sleep, and then you come in. You actually complain loud, say turn it off, and then we turn off the party. An idea.
That's an idea. I don't have any plans.
We'll see you next week, Stackers.
Zap.
Oh, man.